welcome to Rockingham and welcome to Days of Thunder. It's an absolutely gorgeous day and we've got some great racing ahead of us as well. 50 Cent has sponsored a car, Liberty X has sponsored a car, so we've kind of gone hip-hop, pop-tastic. Now remember that Colin White won races 1 and 2, but here we are, round 3, and Ben Collins has got pole position, so let's see what happens.
We'll get to that in a second, Julia, of course, but here you can see the points with 2 rounds completed. Colin White has a 30-point advantage over young Anthony Swan. Stevie Hodgson there in 3rd place, with Ben Collins and John Stewart tied in 4th, and Mark Proctor in a fine 6th place.
So Colin, congratulations on your form so far. You're sitting pretty at the moment.
Yes, leading the championship. I don't know by how many points, we haven't looked, but yeah, we had a terrific time last meeting here.
You had a very good sort of toing and froing session with Anthony Swan, didn't you, in round 2, and you guys seem to have a lot of respect for one another.
Yes, it's important on this sort of speed, 170 mile an hour, is to give a person room, and if a person tries to overtake, you've got to give him room to overtake, because one touch and we're gone, really.
Could hardly hear a word there. Quieten it down, boys. Mind you, they've got to work on the car. We don't want to stop that happening.
No, that's right. New adjustments. We found a few problems with the car yesterday, so it's important to gain all time we can on the car.
So Ben, pole position, a good place to be?
Yeah, it's great. It's Team Turn Forward's first pole position, and you know, it's good. It's good for Texaco to be up there as well. I think it's their first pole in the series as well. So I'm looking forward to the race.
And presumably you guys have been working on your pit stops and things because you had a bit of trouble with that to begin with.
Yeah, the boys have done a lot of work on that, so we should be in a lot better shape than we were in the first meeting. And you know, hopefully that'll go all right and win some races.
So Ollie, you've got all pop on us. What's all this about?
Liberty X wanted to put their name on the car for the rest of the season, so yeah, they're on the car finally.
Excellent. Do you think that's going to help you run better?
I hope so. We're fifth on the grid, so yeah, it's gone well so far.
We're not going to have a repeat of what happened in race 1 for you. You're not going to do a sharp right hand turn into any walls or anything?
No, I'm not doing that this week. We're going for a win or top 3 position.
All right, well you take care of that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ollie.
And crowd pleaser John Nicol has a new car and a new sponsor.
Last time we was in a Monopoly car and we didn't have a very good run, and Steve had a good run, and we've got a brilliant brand on board with Xerox who's looking to do bigger and better things with us, and Stevie's ambitious to run with the team, and it was nice to pass a good sponsor on to Stevie, and obviously we've got the Xerox deal behind us, and also got another great brand for the series.
Okay, focusing on today, qualifying your position, I think behind your young friend Ollie.
Yeah, we're just sitting behind my mate Mr. the 88 car, so say what will be, and if something happens it will, if it won't, it won't.
You stay out of trouble now.
That's why I'm hardest.
And another new name on a car, this time with a difference. American rap star 50 Cent has his name on a car and is performing post-race at Rockingham.
So Stevie, it's $1 million prize fund for Days of Thunder. How come you only ended up with 50 Cent?
Well, I think I drew the short straw, didn't I, really? But no, it's great for the team, great for Renegade, you know, to have someone like 50 Cent on the car, the G unit. It's fantastic, you know.
You better be careful, he's a dangerous man, you know. He might kill you with hip-hop.
Well, we're from Manchester, so we're not scared of these foreigners, are we?
You're really hard.
But the hard man to beat, the top of the podium for the first 2 races of the season, Colin White, double race winner.
So Colin, many congratulations. I'm delighted to present you with this rather lovely trophy. These are the fans and readers of Autosport who voted you driver of the day. That's for rounds 1 and 2. So congratulations.
Brilliant, thanks very much. Thank you everybody, and hope to entertain you well again today.
Sure you will.
Thank you.
Well, it's great commotion in the pit lane. Liberty X are there.
All right, guys, sorry to interrupt. Girls, hello. Welcome to Rockingham. Now, you were performing here last year, but here now sponsoring a car this year.
Yes, and it's so exciting. We're so excited to be here. It's wicked, and the car looks great.
It looks fantastic, doesn't it? Have you had a go yet?
We haven't yet. Well, maybe later. I don't know. Maybe after Ollie's driven it.
Well, I don't know, Ollie. I think they'd be fine. I mean, they can't be worse than you, can they, love?
No, I reckon they'll struggle in their high heels, but maybe I've got a pair of race boots they can have.
Well, Ollie Playle is off to his car. He's got work to do, so have the other drivers, and so have the gang from Liberty X.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
They are the most famous words in motorsport, and there is Ben Collins on the right. He'll move off from that first ever pole position for Team Turn 4 Racing. Graham May is delighted with that, and here's the thing that they will tackle. It's the Rockingham track with its 7.5 degrees of banking in turn 2 and 1.5 miles all the way around, but problems in pit lane, Steve.
Ian McKellar Jr. from row 2 of the grid has come back into the pit lane. His side window had started to fall out, and safety requirements say you've got a pit to have that refitted. Chris Cook and Ben Collins on the front row of the grid.
Michael Burgess and Ian McKellar Jr. on 2.
Ollie Playle and Anthony Swan line up on row 3.
With Johns, Mickle and Stewart on 4.
Ahead of Colin White and Sean Richardson completing the top 10.
Row 6, 2 Steve Hobday and Stevie Hodgson.
Ahead of Mike Luck and Phil Weaver on row 7.
And back on row 8, Malcolm Klein and Mark Proctor.
Down at the tail of the order, Skid Carrera and Chris Harris making his oval race debut.
And Peter Faulding and John Higgins make up row 10 with Tony King back of the grid on row 11. So we got getting set for a 60-lap race. These are the onboard views we've got for you from Sean Richardson. We're about to go green.
And the green flag waves, and it's Ben Collins in the 42 car, makes an immediate early start, but look at Michael Burgess, noted for being quick while the tyres are still relatively cool, coming up to their maximum grip. He's already got down the inside there of Chris Cook, who was second on the grid, and it's up into second place for the Flying Dutchman, Michael Burgess.
You're absolutely right, Steve. He's so quick on those cold tyres. He gets brilliant starts every time. Michael Burgess capitalises, picks up that one place to pass his Team West Tech teammate, Chris Cook, who's now back to third. But look at the margin that Ben Collins already has. And Ian McKellar Jr. from the back of the grid, absolutely flying.
Well, there's plenty of back action up and down the order there. The 24 car, Stevie Hodgson, battles wheel to wheel with the very experienced John Stewart. The Darkness car is there right in front. Colin White is also making his way up the order. He's up now into 6th place ahead of that number 2 machine. But it's Colin White in 6th at the head of the order, but Ben Collins extending his advantage.
Yeah, Colin White didn't have a very good qualifying, which is why he started further down the grid than you'd expect to see him. But at the moment, Sean Richardson right in his wheel tracks. You can see Sean's hands there just as he turns the lock through turn 3 and has to really caress that car. But meanwhile, great scrap for 4th.
Ollie Playle in the Liberty X car, followed by John Mickle in that new 66 machine. Brand new race car out on track for the very first time, but problems there for Mickle's teammate. That is the 23 car of Anthony Swan, the local drivers in the pits. Ben Collins, though, is running away at the head of this.
Absolutely flying, isn't he? Well, problems we're hearing in the engine department for Anthony Swan. We saw the crew, Simon Pocklington leaves that crew, working away with them. But at the moment, Peter Faulding now getting onto the back end of that 50 Cent car. Old Fiddy himself's here, Steve, as you saw earlier on, and he's cheering on that car.
Great battle there for 12th position, but there is the 24 car, Stevie Hodgson, still battling with John Stewart. You know, John Stewart and Colin White are among the only 2 drivers, I think, who've done every race, and that's somebody who's not going to be seeing the checkered flag this time. It's the number 2 car, Sean Richardson, in the Darkness supporting car, is in the wall and limping back to the pits, bringing out the yellow flags.
Yeah, 12 laps completed. We're under our first caution here. Let's have a look what happened. Here's the moment where Sean Richardson, the back end of the car, just gets away from him, and he's a passenger then, Steve, all the way into that very solid concrete wall.
Well, let's have a look at it from Sean's point of view. You see his hands on the steering there, working hard. And one of 2 things there. Either something wrong with the rear tyre. Whoa, what an impact. Or that could have been the aerodynamic instability from the car in front. Either way, the car's heading back to the pits, and we're meeting with Scott Weston, the crew chief.
Scott, Sean's come in, half of the car's hanging off at the back, but apart from that, what else is wrong with the car?
It's really unfortunate. It wasn't his fault. It was we think possibly a slow punch on the back, so it wasn't a driver error, it was a puncher. Unfortunately, it should have been a quick repair, but we've got a few things wrong with the fuel tank, so we'll be lucky to make it out this race.
Well, you know that team, the Kid Richardson team, will make the best they can of the situation. Meanwhile, let's catch up with our driver, Sean Richardson, who's made it back to his garage.
We think we had a slow puncher because as we was coming into lap traffic, we saw the lap traffic, so we eased off quite a lot, and the car just went round on me, so we're thinking we had a slow puncher, but we're just going to check it over and make sure.
Well, frantic work to get the Darkness car back on track. Meanwhile, Anthony Swan is getting ready to climb aboard the 23 car as a furled green flag says 1 safety car lap left to go.
Anthony, just quickly, what happened?
Screwed, I think the engine's gone.
You're going to try and go back out there?
Sorry?
You're going to try and go back out? Or?
We're going to try and pick up some places from the ones that just crashed, so...
Yeah, if it all seems confusing to you, let me explain as we go back to green and Ben Collins gets a good start. There are points available right the way up the order, so what Anthony's doing there very cleverly as we restart here on lap 19 is to get out, put a few laps in, and then he will effectively pass those who have crashed or had problems.
Yes, but while his car is out on track, it is sounding horrible on 7 of its V8 cylinders at the moment. Meanwhile, everyone else is on full power. And at the head of the field, it's Ben Collins still extending his advantage. Ollie Plail here with Colin White right behind the Liberty X car, though. And don't forget, Colin White's the double race winner here, and he is forging his way through the field.
Well, let me just get my Entertainer of the Day award entry here and insert the name Ian McKellar Jr. in it, because already, and we're only just over a fifth of the way through this race, he is scything his way through the field. He tried there to find a way past his Xerox Ford teammate John Mickle, but he couldn't quite do it. McKellar Jr. had to back off, and that's just cost him a bit, but just keep an eye for that black 25, Steve. He's on a mission.
He most definitely is. It's the black car behind the red, and another black car is in the wall. This time it's 50 Cent who are in trouble, and the yellow flags fly again.
Well, we've only had 7 laps of green and we're already under another caution. And here's the reason why. Steve Hobday's car gets away from him in turn 1 and spins him out and clatters into the wall. So under caution here for the second time at Rockingham in round 3.
Well, that's it for part 1, but join us in part 2 for more racing. And here's a little question to vex you while you're away. Stevie Hodgson has raced how many cars in his Days of Thunder career? See you in a couple of minutes. Welcome back. Now, just before the break, I asked you a question about Stevie Hodgson. How many cars has he driven in his Days of Thunder career? Well, the answer is 5, and he's currently racing in car number 24. I wonder how he's doing.
Well, Stevie Hodgson is doing pretty well, thank you very much. There he is in the red and white Monopoly car in 6th position at the moment as the cars come to the green flag. It's Ben Collins, though, with Michael Burgess. Again, Burgess awesome on the cold tyres. Gets his nose down the inside there of Ben Collins, but it's Collins now building the speed in the 42 car at the head of the field. Chris Clark still in 3rd position and in 4th place. And look at this, Ollie Plail holding back Colin White. And also there, down the order, the other black and red car, Ian McKellar Jr. is on an absolute stormer from the back of the field.
Yeah, he started at the back of the grid because at the pace lap, his window, the side window, was loose, and that meant that he had to come in and have that sorted out. But Ben Collins really under pressure here from Michael Burgess. And just to recount those cars that Stevie Hodgson raced in, there was his own number 6, there was 27, 24 that he races now, 55 and 7. Those were the 5. And talking about the 24, here he is, all over the back end of Ian McKellar Jr.
Well, there's our top 6 on the bottom of the screen. Collins, Burgess, Cook, Plail, White and McKellar Jr. Meanwhile, we're back down in the pits with the number 50, Steve Hobday. Let's find out what put him into the wall.
We were suffering from the start with a really loose car. The back end of the car wanted to move out all the time. So we was trying to wait till the pit stop to make some adjustments to the car. Unfortunately, we got caught in the restart behind another car and got boxed in. And then we had a bit of miscommunication with my spotter. As 2 cars came past me, I thought I was clear to get back on the racing line. And there was another car next to me. I then had to jink over to stay out of his way, stop me from hitting him, which put me into a spin.
Well, it's a shame for Steve Hobday, but we've arrived at the pit stop window. Colin White and the 78 team, who are lightningly quick on these pit stops, are already here. The 2 tyres on the outside must be changed. 3 men over the wall, 2 with air guns and 1 with a jack.
Remember rounds 1 and 2 though. Ben Collins, the race leader, the 42 car. He comes into his pit box now a lap later. There's a 2-lap window to make your pit stops here. There is Michael Burgess in the 28 car. Now remember this, Ben Collins, the last 2 races, fastest man on track, and he lost the race here in pit lane. Now it's vital that they're going to get about a 15-second pit stop here to change those 2 tyres. 16.5, that looks pretty good. Let's see how Michael Burgess, the 2nd place man, does.
Well, unbelievable stuff. The West Tech boys go to work. Jackman's there waiting for the car to fall. Here comes Ben Collins. It's going to be a dash to get Burgess out in time. Will Collins do it? There is John Higgins in the 19 crash net car. Oh, and Burgess comes out behind. 16.5 seconds for Ben Collins, 15.4 for Burgess. And if you're wondering why the 2 haven't swapped around, it's because clearly Ben Collins must have had more speed getting to pit lane.
Absolutely awesome lap down to the pit lane speed limit of 40 miles an hour. But Michael Burgess now builds up his speed. He's got to regain it all. And you know, this is the time I think Michael Burgess in that Aspire car is going to really start flying, because he is brilliant bringing the tyres up to temperature quickly. This time Ben Collins is working his way through the traffic. He goes past the 19 car there, but look at the way Michael Burgess just seems to be able to reel him in. Collins needs a lap or 2 to get up to speed.
Yeah, we'll see how these 2 shake out then. We'll get a look at how all of the cars and their respective drivers have done after those pit stops, some lightly quick ones in pit lane this time. Burgess gets a good run out of turn one. It's just a car length. There's the positions you can see. Mickle 6th, White 5th, Chris Cook up to 4th place with Ollie Plale, Michael Burgess and Ben Collins. Your top three there as Burgess puts the pressure on Collins. He's got to the inside at turn 3 but can't make it stick.
Oh, well, a little bit of a slow stop there for Chris Harris. And don't forget, that is the Car Magazine road tester who's driving his first ever oval race this weekend. What a baptism of fire for him. But Michael Burgess, his car twitching a little bit there as he gets into the air turbulence. Look behind Michael Burgess. Ollie Plale is there as well in the 88 car. That Liberty X car really is now making this a 3-car battle for the lead.
Oh, and he's gone to the inside as Plale. That's the white car down on the inside, trying to snatch the place away from his NEC-aspired teammate Michael Burgess. Wasn't the room there on that occasion. Ollie's got to drive a mature race this time. The youngest driver in the field came under a lot of criticism for these first 2-round races, and he's down to pit lane.
Well, that is an unscheduled pit stop for Ollie Plale, and what a pity. And in fact, I think the engine cut out, and it cut out just too late for him to get safely down into pit lane. He's gone round the outside, he's collected a cone for his paint, and look at that smoke coming from under the car. That shows the signs of something very, very seriously wrong under the bonnet.
Well, that is huge disappointment for young Ollie Plale. The wheel is already off. It's supposed to do that, by the way. He hasn't ripped it off like the Hulk would do in that program. You can see he's very disgruntled with what's happened. Chris Cook, his teammate, hits the wall as Mark Proctor is there, but Procky a lap down, unfortunately, at the moment. Well, it's all happening here. Poor old Ollie Plale has stomped away, and he's not happy, but of course Julia's down there.
Ollie, what happened?
I'm not sure. We were coming into turn 4. We were the quickest man on the track, and then all of a sudden the engine went.
Just cut out on you?
Just cut out, smoke would come through the engine. I think we must have picked something up from the track, but that's the end of our race.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you got smoke coming into the car from the engine, no wonder he jumped out of it quick.
Yeah, very frustrating for him, I think, at the moment, but he'll be back to fight another day, and at least he gave a good account of himself while he was out there, and the car was running well for him. But Ben Collins is the man at the moment, the Texaco 42 car, scything his way through the traffic, and looks like they might be getting Ollie back out.
Well, that is amazing. Whatever was broken on the car, they think is fixable. Ollie Plale's told, get your crash helmet out, and another car limping. That is Chris Cook, another of our real quick young guns, young driver about to make his points debut. He's going to lose out as he limps down to pit lane.
Frustrating times at the moment. So Ollie's waiting to go back out. They're trying to restart the engine, but for some reason it just won't kick in.
Well, Julia, you're on the spot as ever, and Ollie trying to get back into his car. Meanwhile, Ben Collins trying to forge his way ahead as we come up to complete 55 laps. That's the top 5, in fact, as we reach the 55 lap point.
Well, meanwhile, cars are coming in and out of pit lane as drivers are going back out to try and pick up championship points.
Team Westec's been having trouble, but Chris Cook's going back out there. Apparently there was a problem with his ignition switch, but as you can see, he's back out trying to get some points.
Well, that's not the only drama for Team Westec, because their man in second place, Michael Burgess, is being hunted down by Colin White. They're watching it on the monitors there in pit lane, and look at those white knuckles. That says it all. Ben Collins is extending his advantage at the head of the field. It looks like he is heading for victory. Michael Burgess working his way through the back markers, but look behind Burgess. There is Colin White, the double race winner. He has been reeling the Flying Dutchman in. And again, back marker trouble there for Michael Burgess.
Yeah, John Stewart's keeping out the way. We see the white flag, and that means 1 lap to go. Oh, and it's all gone pear-shaped for Michael Burgess. Colin White will seize the opportunity. They go double wide down into 2.
Well, just 1.5 miles from the checkered flag. Colin White timed that perfectly. Michael Burgess had to lift off the gas. There you can see the anguish in the Team Westec camp, because it's Colin White up into second place. Comes up to lap John Stewart now in the number 75 car. And don't forget, Colin White started this race in a lowly 10th place. What a drive by him. Meanwhile, it's the checkered flag and the first win.
Well done.
Well done indeed for Ben Collins.
Graham, I take it from that, Ben's a bit of a happy man winning the first race of the new team.
There's whoops and hollers in the car.
What else did he say about the race? Anything?
Not a lot yet. We'll have a debrief after the race and see what we need to do to the car, if we need to do any changes to make it any quicker.
Any quicker? Is that possible?
Oh yeah.
Great run there from Ben Collins as he alights from his 42 car. Brilliant stuff from him, and that was a superb performance. He held off Michael Burgess to take the win. So let's run you down confirmation of the result from round 3. Collins with the victory ahead of Colin White, who snatched second place away from Michael Burgess. John Mickle with his new sponsor takes 4th, and Ian McKellar Jr. in 5th place ahead of Stevie Hodgson.
Ben, congratulations. Looked like a near perfect performance from where I was sitting.
It was really hard work. It's the hardest race I've done in this series, I think. It's probably one of the worst organised as well. It was very difficult to get by traffic and very confusing with the restarts and what was going on, which I think made it hard for us, but it was, the car was fantastic. Team Turn 4 amazing this weekend.
And the pit stop, no problems at all. It was superb.
It was an excellent pit stop, and the crew really deserve credit for that. And Graham May, who set the team up this year, has only set the team up 2 months ago. It's an amazing achievement, and to have knocked them into shape that quickly with a massive improvement, it's awesome.
If it wasn't for Stuart, maybe I could have kept Colin behind me, but so I'm a little bit annoyed, but at the end of the day, pleased that we finished third after the first round.
Are you going to be taking this issue any further?
Well, no, I'd like to make a comment, because at the end of the day, we're racing for the win, or for podium. Stuart is just driving on his own, and he's not racing against anybody, so maybe a bit of decency amongst us in the future might be benefit.
On the last lap, you nicked second place from Michael effectively. Now he's got a bit of an issue with a back marker. How do you see it?
Nah, he went in and wiggled a bit, and I ducked in the inside of him. He went in the turn. The outside line is the fastest. If he'd stayed there, even if I went up the inside, he should have kept going around the outside, and I've proved that in the past year, so I don't think that was an issue. His tyres are gone, weren't they, really? Let's face it.
Well, Colin White can smile because he's still got a 25-point championship lead over race winner Ben Collins. Stevie Hodgson is third ahead of John Stewart, Mark Proctor, Anthony Swan, Michael Burgess 7th ahead of Tony King.
Well, let's add our congratulations to Team Turn 4 and to Ben Collins for their inaugural team victory. Colin White and Michael Burgess celebrating there, and we'll have all the action from the next round, round 4, for you here on Channel 4 next Sunday at 8:30 in the morning.
If you'd love a chance to come and meet and greet Peter Andre, Lamar, Jamelia, Girls Aloud and the Cheeky Girls in July, please answer the following question. Peter Andre will headline next month's event, but which model has he most recently been linked with? Is it A, Jordan, B, Egypt, or C, Greece? Call the number on your screen right now, and good luck. Well, we all knew that Ben Collins would be on the comeback trail, and he won that race extremely convincingly, leading from start to finish. But Colin White is just a little bit ahead, still on points. See you next time.